Jordan Wright wanted to see because it gave him one shot at Dybel. But I'm telling you, on a clean racetrack, no traffic ahead of you, that 74 car.
Well, Dybel's another one of those drivers that is smooth and consistent. He's just consistent, I think, is a key word.
Right.
Always.
But here's the thing.
That's what got that for him.
Here's the thing. I mean, really, you look at the time he spent in a race. He doesn't have a whole. He's not a guy who's been racing cars 15 years. You know, I mean, he's figured this stuff out pretty quick. We talked about earlier in the show about when you see talent coming up through the ranks, you know talent when you see it. I'm telling you, Dan Dybel's going to be that guy in that elite group. I mean, already in the super sport, he is that in that small, very small elite group in this division.
Right.
Moving into the late models, I don't doubt he's going to be one of those guys that we're going to see.
He's going to be one of the top guys.
Absolutely.
A doubt. He already is.
This guy has impressed me so much over the last 2 years. I'm talking the last 2 years. Watching what he did last year and carrying it over to this season, even on these rough track conditions, he just gets out there and does it.
Yep.
You know, it's been so impressive to see that 74 car. The other car in this class that I have just been, my jaw has dropped, was the 33 of Jordan Wright. This kid has just...
He started out strong, and he stayed up in the top all season long.
We watched him get better and better throughout the season last year. Now, the last 4 or 5 races over the season, Jordan Wright, we talked about him all the time.
Yeah.
He figured it out. It clicked. The whole package came together. He likes what he's feeling underneath him. I don't know. When it hits, it just hits. Okay, and for Wright, the last couple of races of last year, carrying over to this year, he has been nothing short of championship caliber driver and car underneath him. I mean, he has been so fast. He was still 3.7 seconds behind Dybel at the checkered flag.
Right.
That's about a quarter lap at Willamette Speedway.
It is.
It really is. I mean, in this division, 16 seconds was his best lap. 16.004.
Yeah, that's right at a quarter lap.
I mean, when you've got someone that fast in second, a quarter lap behind, and that was in a late caution. The caution came on what? There was like 4 laps to go.
Was that the caution or the red?
Where's the graph?
It was whatever the caution was there, and
no, that was that was the caution was the red, or excuse me, the red was at lap 5.
Oh yeah, that was early in the race.
Mm-hmm.
But the 74 car, if I'm a driver in this field, I've got to be a little concerned how to beat that car.
I would be too. And next on the list is that 33 car.
These two drivers, when they get to racing each other, they race good. I mean, it's good racing to watch.
Yeah.
But once that 74 car gets out and starts building the lead,
well, and don't put the 88 out of that mix either.
you can't. There's 6 or 7 cars on this list that you cannot. I mean, okay, so you got Dybel, you've got Wright, okay, and then you've got. I mean, the 99 of Donofrio has been fast, but you got the 16 of Mott, the 82 of Pickett. You can't count out. Randy Barley, defending champion, has had no luck this year. Same with Winkler in the 88, like you mentioned. Wicked fast.
The OG car, Doug Elkins.
He's been fast. He
hasn't had luck can't find luck in a 4-leaf clover.
He's
Clay Debin
figuring things out. Clay Debin, and you talk about bad luck. I mean, look, he had the lead when the motor let go.
Right.
He was fast.
He was.
Truly, he was fast.
He looked really good out there.
He looked better than I've seen him look in
a while.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
In years.
And
Well,
when that motor went up, I felt so bad for him.
I did too.
Because he's worked so hard to get that car on the track every single week, and
he's such
been
a
fast.
stand-up guy too. He does a lot for. He does a lot for other people.
He does. He's got a lot of good-looking cars out there. The Showtime name on it, and it sucks to see a guy that's helped so many people.
Yeah.
His prices are right. He does a good job. Works so hard on everybody else's stuff to barely get to his car, to get it on the track, to go out and be leading, and the motor lets go.
Yeah.
There was a lot of smoke that came out of the back of that.
I don't know that I've ever seen him lose a motor, and here he is in the lead when it has to happen.
I know it. I know. It was hard. Some of the other guys, you mentioned Doug Elkins, one of the drivers coming up in this division.
Out of Salem.
The other guy, I'll tell you, he did not finish well this week. But another guy that caught my eye that has been improving was that 55 of Dave Miller.
Oh, yeah.
That car is fast. Dave's picking it up. He's coming around. He's got an idea what that...
I can't remember what happened to him. Looks like he only made 2 laps. So
I don't remember what happened to him. He went out early, but you know what? That car earlier in the program was fast.
It was.
I mean, he is one of those guys that is going to be racing in that championship
Watch for him this
group.
weekend.
No doubt about it. And we know about Winkler. We know how fast he is. Blanchard had a pretty decent run. I mean, he was last car was lapped late
First
in the race.
car lap down.
First car lap. Yeah, his last car lapped, but first car lap down.
Depends on how you look at it.
Well, it is. But he, given what the luck that guy's had this year, finally got a good run, and he got a ninth place finish, kept the car out of trouble. We saw him back-to-back weeks get knocked out, had some, tore up race cars.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, and I got to tell you, this impressed me. Saturday.
Michael Byram.
Yes, Michael Byram in the 34 car. That's only his second time, you guys, been in that super sport car. And he won the heat.
Yep.
He won the heat. And here's the thing about this kid. He's not real old. Graduated. I think he graduated 2 years, so put him about 20. Okay, second time in the car. He goes out and looked like a veteran driver.
Oh, absolutely.
Scott Byram is his dad, and Scott's been out there longer than I can remember. I mean, I don't remember being out there without Scott being there, and the JJ and Irvine and the Boyds, and they were all that big elite group, that big group out there. He's getting that advice from Scott, who has in a super sport car, dude. Oh man, do you ever watch Scott Byram in a super sport car?
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about good? I mean, good.
Absolutely.
I watched. I'll tell you my real quick. I know we're getting late here in the show. I'm gonna tell you a quick story about Michael Byram's dad, Scott. I remember one night he was racing with Pickett. Okay, and these guys had a heated battle going this year. Byram comes up, passes Pickett, a little bit of contact. Byram gets sent to the back. What's he do? Starts making his way back up to the field, gets right back up to second or third right there with Pickett, a little bit of contact. Byram gets sent to the back of the pack. And I'm going, oh, no. Before the race was over, Scott Byram was right back up there with Pickett, battling, I want to say, for first or second. I mean, he passed more cars that one night than half those guys did all season. And then at the end of the night, there was a little, I'll say, a warm discussion between Claire Arnold and Scott, where one of them, Claire Arnold, was so hot, he says, "Listen up, punk." Claire, he shot it to you straight. Yeah. And Claire, he says, "Listen up." He goes, "You want to go?" He goes, "I'll put a 2x4 up against your head." Scott's like, "Come on, Claire, let's do it." I was like, wait, guys, wait, break it up, settle down. I mean, we got these guys calmed down, and just a matter of one guy making a call and seeing something that I'll say probably didn't happen. These guys, Pickett, we know he's a class act race car driver.
Always has been.
Always has been. There's a reason he's a multiple champion in that division. Scott, very talented. It was just one of those nights where a little bit of rubbing and banging, and one guy lost it a couple times, and the other guy gets blamed for it. And I understand Scott was frustrated, but it was one of the funny things. It happened on the front stretch, like right at the flag stand. Claire and Scott going to duke it out. I said, well, I was glad that we were able to calm these guys down, but it was getting pretty hot. And, those guys obviously have a relationship that goes back decades. And I think that's why they felt they could talk to each other that way. But, here's Michael Byram getting advice from his dad, who very talented race car driver. Scott was one of those guys, much like Randy Boyd, that could take a car that was less than stellar and put it in victory lane. Not a high-dollar team. Just knew how to make a race car work. The knowledge is more valuable than money, and Scott's got that foundation. And he passed on to Michael. That kid impressed me Saturday night.
Yeah, very good run.
Yeah. Moving into the modifieds. IMCA modifieds. This qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Campos.
This surprised me.
Campos surprised you as fast qualifier?
Absolutely.
Really?
How does John Campos surprise you as fast qualifier?
John is one of those guys that he hates a tacky, rough racetrack. He is a slick and smooth driver through and through. Seeing him on as fast time in the modifieds actually surprised me a little bit.
Watching what he did 2 weeks ago, starting scratching the B, transferring to the A, coming from the back of the
back. Yeah, but you look at the track, completely different racetrack.
No. Still a rough, tacked up, beat up, motocross style racetrack. No difference. To see him at the top of the speed chart, that does not surprise me one bit. We know how fast Lightning John Campos is.
Oh, yeah, he's fast in anything he gets in, but for him to be that fast, it actually surprised me a little bit.
That does not surprise me one bit. Jeff Lovell in second. You guys have heard me mention him multiple times at the racetrack. About how he's been one of those guys that have really made huge strides the last 2 or 3 years. Great equipment, good quality race car driver. He was second fast. I thought that was pretty cool to see.
Absolutely.
To see Lovell up there. Colin Weinbarger third fast. Drager. Sean Maya in that 36 car.
He's coming.
He is.
Yes, he is.
I'm telling you right now, before the season's over at Willamette, you will see Sean Maya with an IMCA modified victory. I do believe that.
He's so quiet. You can't hardly squeeze a word out of him.
He's just like his uncle.
He sure is.
Yeah, but when he gets on that track, he turns it on.
He does.
He does.
And he is fun to watch.
He's
good
fun.
race car driver.
He's a good kid.
Gray Ferrando, did you see what he was doing in the feature?
What, flat-footing it?
Man, there's a guy
that guy is balls out all the time.
Man, you want to talk about someone that's exciting to watch, he'll bring your heart rate up.
Yep.
He will
No
bring
doubt.
your heart rate up just watching him drive a race car. He's it's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Dustin Cady in the 7 was 7th fast.
He was fast.
7th fast qualifier. Where did he end up in the feature?
Checked out.
He won.
He won big.
Yeah.
He won big. Let's go to the feature results. I want to see the margin.
Well,
of victory.
okay. Half a second.
But remember so this race
over Gray.
But here's the thing. This race couldn't have been more screwed up from the start. We had one lap complete, and the cars are on the track for almost 20 minutes.
I think it was over 20 minutes. I thought I heard 21 minutes.
21 minutes, you're right.
Something like that.
And we had one completed lap because
we had a little of an issue in 3 and 4.
Well, what we did, we had multiple issues. That was the big one, and that video was actually posted on Moxie. Multiple videos, multiple angles from the rear of Steve Moore's car, and then 2 inside, from the cockpit. You've got guys on these skinny tires racing hard on a rough track. I've had people give me their opinion watching the in-car view from Steve Moore's, the GoPro we put on there, Moxie Media GoPro. It's funny how one person can watch something and have a completely different perspective of the person standing next to him watching the same video.
Right.
We've heard it all watching this video. Oh, that's his fault. That's his fault. This guy did that. He shouldn't have done that. Why did he do that?
And it's gonna happen every single time. I believe it just does.
It's all a matter of perspective.
Here's the thing: the only perspectives that matter in this situation are Steve Moore's and the guys that were in the Amco cars. Nobody.
That was both Amco cars.
It
wasn't
was
it?
the team cars.
Rod and Sam.
Here's the thing: nobody did anything wrong. People say, "Oh, not Potter, but
McComb
overdrove." And he didn't overdrive the car. He's driving the car. It hooked the rut. The car turned sideways. Moore had nowhere to go.
Again, it's the track conditions. I think it's all.
That
right
was
there.
the biggest. And the fact that those guys are in traffic.
And that's my opinion.
It is. It is.
You're talking. That was even before we got one lap completed.
That's right.
All the cars
we had one lap up.
We had
one lap up on the board for quite some time.
There was one lap completed when that red came out.
Either way, you still have all the cars bunched up together.
That's what I'm saying.
Pack.
They were in the middle of the pack.
It's Talladega and Daytona style racing. You're all grouped up into
It's the restart.
One little bunch. When things happen in that little pack of racing, things happen big.
They happen
and we
fast.
saw that. I'm just thankful that the 04 of McCombs didn't go over.
Oh, yeah.
And he got up on his side, and it kind of came to a rest on the top of Steve's car, and Potter didn't get hurt, and he slid the car. He had one of those deals, nowhere to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did the only thing he could do.
He did everything he could do.
He did. Turned the car sideways, got into the back of Moore's car, and it comes right into the Moxie camera, right into your, Sucks for those. It's a great view. It's a great video if you look at it from that sense. But it sucks for those guys involved because 3 good race cars, all 3 guys were very fast, got taken out.
Yep.
Again, going back, I think the biggest factor, track conditions, tire combination. Those guys don't have a choice. That's the tire that class runs. It's nationwide standard. It is what it is. It sucks for those guys, but in the end, when it was over, nobody had anything for that 7 of Dustin Cady.
No.
He got to the front. And here's the thing. We've talked with him the last couple of weeks. He is feeling so confident in that car. He knows what changes to make. and he's dialed that car in